Hello and welcome back to Universal Laws with Christy Sturdivant. I am here today again with Candace Bethel, a frequency medicine person. I don't want to say, I want to say guru, but I don't know if you like that. But we're just going to say that's
Sure.
what her vibe is. And we are going to talk today about something that is going on in the collective where channel 4130 is popping up for us, which is the channel of recognition. And so I am going to ask Candace all kinds of questions about this because she has been feeling it a lot in the collective. So, Candace, tell me what are your thoughts here on this channel 3041 or 4130, however you want to say it.
Wow. First of all, thank you for having me again. I'm so happy to be here. And yeah, this channel has been causing all kinds of tension in my life and all of my clients' lives that I've been working with for the last few weeks. I believe this is a collective energy coming in globally for everybody to feel and to claim their own power back. Because what is happening is that we are recognizing where we are being like pushed down, and maybe not in a way that like we're aware or that we're really consciously uncomfortable, but where it's this root push, like there's something in that root that doesn't feel good and it's pushed to the emotions. And mine is not just mine right now, and others too, but so that you may relate to this or not. Mine is being pushed from the root to the spleen, which gives me intuitive knowing, but it's not, it's fear also. And it just keeps going tap, 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 tap. This very slight nudge of something's wrong, something's wrong, something's wrong. This doesn't feel good. This doesn't feel good. And it's the same repetitive thing over and over again. It may give you a slightly different message, but it's from the same energy. And then mine goes from to there to the heart, to the will, to the emotions. So I feel it like in my heart and in my body, and it like literally is making me not feel good in my life. And then I actually have the will to speak it emotionally right now. And it's this really uncomfortable like loop. And it is just it's pressure to feel good and to see where in your life you're holding space for others to feel good and you aren't doing that for yourself.
Hmm. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so interestingly enough, I just looked this up online, and these gates right now are in the sign of Aquarius, which is it's a major change agent in astrological speak, if you will. And the root gate 41 is in Pluto, which is very generational, right? We are seeing that we just talked about this whole generational shift that's happening. And the other gate in the emotional solar plexus 30 is in this the Venus gate, which is all about self-love. So you are saying that this is feeling like it's feeling out of balance, which that's where we're coming back to when we're talking about the law of gender, is that the universe requires balance. And this is feeling more masculine, would you say?
Absolutely. It is
Okay.
pushing us in this really strong kind of emotional masculine, like giving us this like push. You have to do something. Like last night, the right side of my neck and shoulder was in so much pain. And that is freedom and how you love yourself in the masculine.
Mm.
And so I like the body gives me signals for how things are showing up in the collective. So yeah, that Venus, that love yourself and that pressure to do that, it is likely showing up really strong emotionally. And if you don't know why your emotions are showing up, it's there for you to look at. Many people probably don't even see this. They just are angry and frustrated and feel very, very emotional. But it's here for you to pause, step into that feminine that we're moving into, because that generational channel you were talking about, like we're feeling this generationally. And in human design and other things they talk about, it takes 7 years to clear something once you started learning about it. Well, we are like possibly close to that 7 year cycle, depending on how long your ancestors lived and all of that. If you think about we're moving out of this masculine that's been in there for about 411 years and into this feminine, it is just demanding that you come back to you. And that's not just for women. It wants men to come back to their divine masculine, which is calm, peaceful power. It is not anger and war and fighting. That is weakness and fear and ego. None of that is strength. Sometimes it may look like physical muscle strength, but that doesn't come from a place of clarity or a place that can create change or transformation. It just creates ego war loops. And we're moving out of that. And we're feeling the pressure of moving out of that. We're like, no longer. I'm standing my ground. And I don't care who it's going to affect because it's been affecting me for too long. And we're moving up. The mountain is like erupting.
Yay for Pele and volcanoes, or Kali,
Yes.
whoever you like.
I think they do different things, but like,
Mhm.
like hail to them all. Whoever wants to
Yeah.
show up right now. Like,
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay. So we are feeling this pressure in our root center. It is either going towards our emotional solar plexus or towards the spleen. Either one is going to feel really intense right now. And it is this masculine energy. So, how are we going to soothe this in our bodies? What are some easy, simple ways for us to kind of aside from being still and being silent and meditating and everything, are there any ways that you would recommend tapping into this divine feminine energy to kind of quell? We won't say push down because we want to feel it, but we do want to quell it a little bit and write it out and ultimately transmute it if possible.
correct. So it needs to feel safe in this energy that's happening. And right now, it likely doesn't feel safe. So if we can create a safe place for it, which means like go for a slow, like calm walk, just sit with your body. You don't even have to meditate, just sit in your own silence and just do a screen. Where do I feel? First, feel where the first tension comes from. And then, like, okay, well, where does that go? And often you'll be able to like create a pattern. Like, maybe you'll be like, oh, my whole body hurts. Well, that's like our disconnect from spirit. If your whole body hurts, like you've disconnected from your soul and you need to call that thing back, like for real. One physical thing that you can do is is kind of like rocking yourself like a baby. You can do it in a chair and like you move forward and you take a deep breath in and you move back and you breathe out. So it's and the slower you do that, the better it will be. You can make circles like with your pelvic floor, but slow, gentle movements for at least 10 minutes. I mean, if you only have a couple minutes, allow yourself to really feel that. But it takes about 10 minutes for our parasympathetic nervous system and everything just kind of go and settle down. And we all have 10 minutes. We choose how we spend our time. So if you want to calm down, you can choose to do it or not.
Okay. So, Candace, I have been noticing recently that there is, and this isn't just me, I've had a couple people talk to me recently about how they have noticed how much more maybe people are falling into this victim mentality where they're like, this is not my fault. It's like they don't want to take necessarily responsibility for anything, but it's also this like it's such an intense pressure that it just feels insurmountable in everything. And what are your recommendations to break this habit? Like, is there something that we can do physically other than just like mindset work and affirmations? Is there something that we can do in our body in order to kind of like break this victim mentality habit? Because I do feel like this is a side effect of this toxic, dark masculine energy that we're moving through, right? Like we just are like, well, I can't do anything. I'm stuck. What do I do now? Do you have any like I don't want to say quick fixes, but maybe something to help us move on before everyone can like start signing up for your classes to get deeper into this whole situation?
Yeah. Um, it it really actually does come down to mindset work, and that is like a giant topic. If you notice that you don't feel good, you have to stop what you're doing. And I know that sounds insurmountable sometimes, but you don't have to do it. Like if you're at work and you're like, I just have to go and you can't, you have to go to the bathroom. You have to stop. You have to go somewhere for at least 5 to 10 minutes and stop thinking about what you're doing and just breathe. And it doesn't matter my favorite breath for that because that means you're in kind of a fight or flight. My favorite breath for that is breath of fire. And it does sound a little bit weird. Um, but it's what it does is to, it brings your energy up to that fight or flight. It meets you where you're at and then immediately start shutting it down so that you can just go, oh, this is something that I teach people to do if they're driving and they're like having road rage. Obviously, like if you start feeling weird, stop, but this is not a typical breath where you're like having transformational DMT experiences. This one just heightens your nervous system, meets you where you're at, calms you down a little. Have you ever done breath of fire?
I have not. No. Can you give me a
Okay.
quick
I
demo?
I can do it. It's not sometimes I feel like I'm not the best at explaining it. But the best way to start learning it is to start with panting. So sticking your tongue out like to your chin, like and pant. When you do that, you can feel your belly button pushing towards your spine. And that's like the movement that we want is this forceful breath. And then all you do is close your mouth and then keep doing it. So,
Okay.
and you don't have to do it quite as fast. You can do it however, whatever your breath feels good at, but do it for 1 to 3 minutes. And it will just, it's not going to change your life immediately, but it's going to help your nervous system go, okay, I don't have to be here. And you have to leave where you're at. We have to like retrain. Like as soon as you start getting triggered in what you're doing, stop, change what you're doing. It doesn't mean that obviously we can't just sometimes leave our situation. If you can, fantastic. Go do something. Go to the beach. Do something that makes you feel really good for yourself. Uh, and that is, it seems simple, but it's really the best way to do it. And if you don't believe me, try experimenting with it.
Well, I talked to Candace a couple of weeks ago, and I am very late to the whole breath work bandwagon, right? Like I know that it's good for me, but I have never taken a formal class. And so I asked Candace, I said, just can you just tell me like some basic breath work skills to, do? And you taught me the stomach and the chest, which was
Mhm.
very difficult for me to do until I got the hang of it. But I've been doing it every day for like the last, I don't know, 2 weeks or whatever. And it's like, it's like huge. It's
Yes, it is.
exciting.
It's
Like
like the most amazing feeling,
it
right?
is.
And
It is.
that is your soul's energy. You are calling your soul back with that energy every time. It gets a little stronger and a little stronger, right? Like you're kind of
Mhm.
noticing like the frequency that it pulls in, like the high vibration that it pulls in, right?
Yes, and
Like
this is going to sound really strange, but I can taste my aura maybe, or I can taste
yes.
my energy,
No,
which is a little
yes.
weird. But
You,
yes, it was very cool. I was like, wait a minute, what is it? I can't quite pinpoint what it is, but I was like, every time I do it now, I'm like, oh, I have this specific taste in it. So now this must be my energy is. So that's
right.
very exciting. And so having just a couple of these breathwork tools underneath your belt is like it's so helpful. So thank
I'm
you.
so excited that you have done it and that you can explain that like how much it's helped you.
Mhm.
Because there's, I'm still a very small person, but there's a lot of people that do breath work. And then breath work is around. So there's all kinds of breath work that helps. And the open mouth into the belly and the chest one that I taught you, that one's one of my favorite because that one just like it clears toxins through the breath into the ether. Like you don't have to talk about it. You just have to feel it through. And then what I do in my larger sessions with that for like trauma clearing is we do like a guided meditation. I read your energy, feel where it's at, do an attunement to like highlight what energy just came up, and then we breathe it out. Mhm.
Okay. So it's super helpful. Okay, so now we have the breath of fire, which we're panting and feeling our stomach pull into our spinal cord. So
Mhm.
even just doing that 1 minute to 3 minutes a day is going to be very helpful to calm us down if we're in that state of rage, I
Yeah.
guess we could say, right?
Hmm.
But the one, can you demonstrate? I don't want to put you on the spot, but
The
will you
one for
demonstrate
you,
the one
the
that you
other
showed
one.
me?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can.
Okay.
But one of my like the other things that like if people really aren't like sure if they want to try breath work or not, if you're an athlete, freaking do it. It strengthens your core better than any other exercise you will do. I'm an athlete. I was injured. I couldn't walk for like 6 months in 2022. And that is how breathwork got incorporated into my business because I was like, how am I gonna keep like my agility up? And the only thing that was weak when I like got back was my legs, because I was the only thing I couldn't use. So I swear by breath work.
As if we needed another reason to try breath work. Now you know
Right,
it strengthens your abs. Hello.
right,
Just get
right.
on it.
So the best way for people that are it's hard to start with is put one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest, and then you breathe into your hands. It's an open mouth, like you're sucking through a straw, and it sounds like into the belly, into the chest, and out the mouth.
Okay. So I wasn't doing it out the mouth, but it still works even if you do it out through your nose. And you don't want to do it too fast because I will say that you will get a little bit lightheaded, maybe nauseous if you're going too fast because you're hyperventilating. So don't do that. But very helpful.
So let me comment on that. Yeah, if you're gonna do it fast, you need to have somebody around you, like watching you, like making sure that your body is doing okay, because that lightheadedness you will actually move through, and it creates this like really big wave of like magic. I don't know how else to explain it. So next time you get to that feeling like you might pass out, or if you get there, take a deep breath into the nose, into the belly, hold and just suspend and hold as long as you can and just watch with your eyes closed what is happening
Okay.
and
Wow.
feel what's happening.
All right, that sounds good. Yeah, and I feel like just doing it, I started off just doing it 1 minute a day, just so I could get used to it because it was very difficult for me to figure out if I was actually breathing in the right part of my body, which sounds dumb, but it was
It's
it was a
true.
legit thing. It was a legit thing. I had to put my hand like up on the side of my ribs. I'm like, am I really breathing into my chest? Okay, I think I am. So, but it like I'm now at 3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Awesome.
And so it feels really nice. And I try to do it a couple times a day. And I think it has been very beneficial and it gives me like a moment to focus on. So super helpful. And it's strengthening my abs. So
Yeah, it
hello.
is. So if anybody's watching this and they're like, okay, I do breath work. I can do it longer than 1 to 3 minutes. Okay, then start with 11 minutes, work up to 22 minutes, and then up to 33 minutes and see where you go with that. Like, I can't even tell you the magic that happens in your body.
Goals. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, well, that is all we're going to talk about today. Thank you, Candace, so much. Yes, so if you're feeling all of this pressure, it is right now coming from the Root Center. That is like a collective channel that is activated right now. And try this um, Breath of Fire. Is that what it's
Yep.
called?
Breath of
Okay.
fire. You can find
Try
it on
that.
YouTube too if what I said was confusing.
No, I think it totally makes sense just knowing that your stomach is like moving in towards your spine. That is a very helpful visual for me
Mhm.
anyway. So, anyways, thank you, Candace, so much for your tips this week. I really appreciate it. And we will see you guys next week.
All
Bye.
right. Thank you for having me.